How's everybody doing? Great. Hot enough? By the way, my name is Daniel DiMacaulay. I'll be, for the new people in the room, I will be the one explaining the project to you, okay? My background, I've been involved in the project approximately 2 years now. So I can tell you my experience in it. I can't tell you some of the other, like some of the people have been in it 3, 4 years and so on. And by the way, this is not what I did before. Prior to this, I was a chairman and CEO of a large marketing company here in Orange County. For 8 years, my partner, Dr. Lee, and myself, and by the way, I told Dr. Lee I would say this every time, and because he just got his new book, you know, and it's called Standing on the Edge of Tomorrow. It's very, very good. My partner, Dr. Lee, who was very smart, we've been in the communications, high-tech industry, global conference for 8 years. And prior to that, I was also chairman and CEO of a global marketing company that did several $100 million. So that's what I did. I fell into this project by accident, okay? I went to a meeting to get rid of a girl. That's a true story, by the way. Not to get rid of her, to get rid of her bugging me. You know, it was a friend, and she kept asking me to go to the meeting, and I didn't want to go to a meeting, you know, and because I thought it was like a Zango thing, or have you ever heard of a noni juice? Anybody, any of the new people ever heard? There's a new one out there, Mona V, yeah, Mona V, right? I've seen this Mona V signs. I thought it was one of these things, that, you know, and by the way, let me just reverse a little bit, just in case some of you are involved in it, or you're in one of those programs. I have no problem with it. Probably great products, probably wonderful companies, okay? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I just didn't want to be there. You know, I thought, when I first saw this, I was thinking this was some kind of a rinky-dink, illegal, you know, door-to-door, multi-level, you know, pyramid, like last business you get into before you commit suicide kind of thing, okay? So if you're there, I'm with you, okay? That's what I was thinking, and then I saw this machine, and see, I made a mistake right away in the beginning. See, I thought it was a water filter. Nobody explained it to me, see, and I wasn't listening, so I'm thinking it's a water filter. Well, it was next to the kitchen sink, and they're giving me water. What am I supposed to think? All right? Water is just one of the things it does. It's one of the minute things it does. Nobody told me it's a medical equipment. In Japan, nobody told me it's licensed as a medical equipment and sold as a medical equipment. I'm thinking water filter the whole time, and then somebody told me the price. Have you heard the price? That was one of the dumbest things I ever heard, honestly. Because I'm thinking Kangen, right, or reverse osmosis. Everybody has a water filter. When I heard the price, I was saying, what are you, crazy? Because I'm in the water filter. If I would have seen this unit in a hospital room, in a surgery ward next to a heart machine, and they told me the price, I would have been okay with it. Everything there cost that. But it was like next to a garbage disposal switch, you know? So I'm thinking, when they told me the price, I thought they'd never, anyway, I was on the wrong planet. So you got to make sure you listen to it, because it's not a water filter, all right? Next thing is, I had some friends in the room that bought some. So I bought one, and I thought, why would they buy something that much? And I asked Arlene, you know, and Arlene told me it helped with her daughter's gout. I didn't know what gout was back then. Somebody else told me, Vicky Dumag told me it helped with her mom's acid reflux, you know, with the medication, you know, and somebody else told me. I was hearing different stories in the room from friends who I had known for 10, 12, 15 years. They weren't trying to sell me. I was just fact-finding, okay? But you see, I'm telling you something that somebody else told me. That's called third-party stories. In my world, it doesn't work. You know, in my world, documentation beats conversation every time. It doesn't work in a courtroom, right? It's called hearsay, overruled, okay? Let me show the new people something, all right? I don't know a lot of you, most of you. How many people in the room here, honestly, ever since you've been on the water, ever since you've been drinking this water, it's had tremendous health benefits on you personally? Please raise up your hand. Check it out. Check it out. The rest of you are brand new. It's that simple. Or haven't been on the water that long. Can you see that? How many people in the room, it actually helped, let's say, with your acid reflux? Look at this. How many people it helped with your maybe arthritis or back pains or joints? Look at that. How many people here, honestly, you know, it helped with something, you know, maybe it helped with diabetes, you know? Look at this. It's the craziest thing. How many people here, you're sleeping better? Check it out. That's not a water filter. Does your water filter do that? No, that ain't a water filter. It is unbelievable what this thing, did you see that? This is what this is what this is all about. And that, oh, just so you know, I didn't believe any of them. None of my friends, I walked out of the room, I'm going to one of my friends, I'm going, this is one of them Amway things, man. You know, like they go, you know, they sing together, they go on vacation together, they camp, whatever, I don't know. I have nothing against them. I just didn't want to be in that, you know, I was running a board meeting, all right? So I said, okay, if this water is so good, let me give it to my partner, Dr. Lee. He's 77. He's got all kinds of issues, all right? You should see what it did for my partner. Unbelievable. He's in Singapore right now. I gave it to my friend Al Dorsey. He told me he was taking like 35 units for his diabetes. He was high blood pressure, all of that. You should see what happened with Al Dorsey. I mean, I noticed, I think he's in the room. I always talk about him, and tonight he's in the room. Unbelievable what happened with Al. And then I gave it to some of my friends. And just so you know, I didn't believe them. When my friend called me and said, Daniel, I think this water is helping me, I went, please, man, it's water. Let's get real here, okay? I didn't believe none of, that's how skeptical. It took me 7 months to get involved. And you're not going to do the checking that we did, because I had the resources. I have people who we can say, do this, and they'll do that, okay? What happened was I didn't believe any of them until it happened with my mom. In 04, 05, 06, I think 05, 06, my mom had this silver thing, right, with tennis balls. I remember it like it was yesterday. She had this maroon thing that was always parked outside of her room. It was an automatic chair, you know? And she always sprayed her mouth with this thing for 20 years, for her ass, I guess to help her breathe better, especially when she goes to Asia, all right? Last year, after my mom was drinking the water, she went to Bryce Canyon. You have to walk a lot. She was in New York. She was in a cruise with her sisters to Alaska. She went to Asia. Last Christmas, I threw a party in Newport Beach. That's where I'm from. I threw a party on a yacht. There was about 300 people there. If you were at the party, what was my mom doing? Dancing. Dancing. The year before, she's like this. I mean, what a... That blew, and then when she came back from Asia, she said she goes, I know this really works because I didn't need my, whatever. It's something she sprays. Yeah. So that's what got me here. That's why I'm here. By the way, that's not what got me involved, okay? What got me involved was the money. Is that okay to say on film? Okay. It's what got me involved. I can tell you, hey, I like helping. I don't mind helping people. But that's not what got me involved. What got me involved was my friend Bob Gridelli, who's one of my good friends for over, I don't even know how long. Bobby, who was earning about, you know, maybe $45,000, $46,000 a year, his first year in this business, he earned 6 times more than his year previously of a whole year of 45 grand. Multiply your income by 6 times. Think about it. The ones that are working, okay? I said this in LA and somebody in the back goes, well, 6 times 0 is 0. I felt like hitting him over the head with a microphone. If you're working, all right, multiply it by 3 times. Do it twice. If you're earning even 30,000, multiply it by 2. I mean, it changes everything. Bobby, he did it, he showed me what he earned in front of me as I was saying, Bobby, is this one of them MLM things? And he said, no, you need to check it out. So we did, and let me show you what we came up with, okay? First of all, this goes way back. When we did our research, goes way back. Back in the 50s, they did a research around the world of all these waters where thousands of people have been going for thousands of years because it helped them. Now, just so you know, when I saw this the first time, I knew it was somewhat of a true story because when my mom and my aunt go there, they bring me back a Madonna with water from Lourdes. I have it in my house. It's on the second floor. It's on the altar. I have water from Lourdes. And if you're Catholic, you know about it. Okay? So what I'm telling you, there's 7 of them, by the way. All right? Well, when they checked all these waters out, they discovered that all of these waters had what they call active hydrogen. That's why when you first pour the water in a clear cup, you can sort of see bubbles. They don't go up, they don't go down, they don't disappear. They just sort of stay there and stare at you, you know? Okay? So today it's known as alkaline water. So this company in Japan, I'm going to fast forward this because there's a story in between there. But it landed up in Japan. Let's get to that part. A company, a couple of decades later, built units that produce these waters. You're drinking it. And it's a little bit better, as a matter of fact. Let me show you the company, okay? Number one, the company is called Enagic. It is a 35-year-old company. And it's an original equipment manufacturer. Now, I say this with a little bit of seriousness because, you know, when you're going to be in business, some people are looking at this for a business with a company. You don't want to go with something new, by the way. In our company, new is voodoo. New is bad. For some reason, in the network industry, new is like, wow, everybody jumps in. All you have to do is tell somebody, hey, you'll be the first one in. Wow, they just jump in. You'll also be the first one to die. 99% of the companies fall in their first year. The other 99, you take all the ones that survive, 99% of those fall. I know, I've started some companies that fell with all the intention of making it good. 99% fall. Check out this, what you're looking at. I mean, is that solid or what? They're an original equipment manufacturer. There are factories in Osaka. They have offices throughout the world, including Dusseldorf, which they opened up last year. And in Mexico, they just opened up a couple of months ago. So they're very, very solid. This company, I don't know the exact figures, but I believe they'll do close to $1 billion this year. This is not small. This is huge. Well, how come we don't know about it? They're across the ocean. There's 1,000 companies you don't know about. This is very well rooted, and on top of it, they're well rooted as they've expanded to North America. Hey, anybody here been to their office in LA? Have you noticed? They're all like, they're very honorable, right? You know, you go like this, they go like this, you know? I mean, they're all very Japanese, right? And they're like, you know, they're really good people that it's unbelievable. They have offices in New York, Chicago, Honolulu, Canada, Mexico. They're opening up in the Philippines before the end of the year. I mean, this thing is gonna go global. Now, if you go to enagic.com, you'll see all these different awards. Okay, some of them I don't understand. I know some of them are for medical, engineering. The one that caught my eye is these two. That's the ISO. They give the highest standards, strictest guidelines for manufacturing right there, okay? And by the way, that right there, no ionizer on the marketplace has those seals. Enagic is the first one. And for the new people, if you want to see them, we blew them up. Okay, we blew them up and put them across the wall there. Okay? Now, all right, pay attention to the screen because this is where I went wrong. I thought it was a water filter. Doesn't it look like a water filter? Right? Or maybe some kind of fancy espresso machine or juicer or, you know, cafe latte, cappuccino, you know. No, I would have never guessed that's a medical equipment. I would have never guessed that if you press this button, it'll produce water that will kill 99% of bacteria in about 30 to 60 seconds. That water does that. My water filter never did that. Okay? It makes water that if you have a skin condition like eczema, like whatever, you know, athlete's feet, fungus on your nails, you know. I'm not saying it gets rid of it, but I will say this, okay? Watch, because documentation always beats conversation. How many people in the room, honestly, you gave that water to somebody who had a skin condition like that, or it helped you? Please raise up your hand. Check it out. That ain't a water filter. It makes water that if you have this, oh, how it helps. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a doctor. I have no clue. All I know is it helped my mom. I'm in. All right? Now, this unit right here, let me show you a couple more things about it. This is the flagship product of Enagic, right there. And by the way, you're looking at the Mercedes-Benz of the industry. Why? Because a lot of people Google and all this. There's all kinds of different vehicles out there, just like automobiles. There's several different ones out there. Some of them, like 11 different brands, are made by the same company. Because, you know, if you have the money, what name do you want on it? You're looking at the best. You're looking at the only one that has those seals right there. You're looking at the only one that's endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Diseases. By the way, this is the largest and most prestigious group of doctors in Asia, 6,500. That's the first ionizer they've ever endorsed. It's got all the credentials, and it's the only one that's licensed as a medical equipment. It's the Mercedes-Benz, okay? And I say this because when I bought mine, it was for my health, for my wife, for my daughter, you know, for my family. When I bought my mom, it was for my mom's health. And at the end of it, okay, you have to ask your tax man, the whole thing was tax deductible for me. Because, you know, what they do. Now, I'm going to ask you all a question. If you're going to purchase something for your health, your wife, your husband, your kids, your family, and your mom, what unit are you going to look for out there? Yeah, I mean, you're going to go shopping for price? It's your mom. She can take you out of this world, okay? She put you in this world, you know what I mean? You got to get the best for your mom. That's what I thought when I bought my unit. I'm just letting you know. It was the best, you know. We're not talking $1 bazillion here, but every unit in the marketplace compares themselves to this one. Oh, we're just like that one, except we're half price. Oh, we're $1,000 cheaper. Oh, we're just like that one, except we're cheaper. No, you're cheaper because you're cheaper. There's no such thing as the same and cheap. You're looking at the Benz of the industry. Number one, it makes 5 types of water. This unit right here makes water that if you have a kitchen stove, the top, you know, becomes greasy, and you put Windex and 409, you know, you spray it with Fantastic. Use all of it, okay, and you wipe it. And then you take the water from here, and you spray the other side. It will out-clean the oil better, faster than anything you have in your kitchen. How many people here know I'm telling the truth? It's factual. Look at that. That ain't a water filter. I mean, it was, when I first saw that, I'm going, and you're going to see it live. I mean, it's unbelievable. So let's make sure we're on the right page here, okay? It's approved as a medical device by the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare. And it's designed to last 20 to 25 years. And do you know how they know it lasts this long? By the units that are out in the marketplace. This is not a one-year-old company that's telling you their unit will last 10 years. How do they know? This one, they know. It's out there right now. All right? Now, here's the 3 things it has. Antioxidant, microcluster, alkaline. I knew nothing about any of these. When I kind of knew about antioxidant. All right? So, but let me show you some of the things about it. Number 1, the property, when normal tap water, regular tap water goes through this machine, it turns it, one of the properties when it comes out, the water you're drinking has antioxidant. And by the way, the highest antioxidant liquid that we've been able to find on the planet. All right? If you don't know what oxidation is, that's what wreaks havoc in your DNA system. Okay? That's what everybody. And as a matter of fact, you don't know, if you take an avocado, like tomorrow, like a day like today, cut it in half, put it in your kitchen table, go shopping, come back. You will know what oxidation is. And if you don't believe the avocado, go get a banana, he'll tell you the same thing, okay? So will lettuce, you know, it turns brown. It's called oxidation. Well, that and that, okay, oxidation and living tissue always equal this. Sickness and aging. As a matter of fact, you want to slow the aging process down, slowing down oxidation will slow this down faster than anything you can do. Wow. Now, I'm not an engineer, but this unit, when the water goes through it, it filters it, it charges it, it splits it. You can read about it, all right? And it's got some kind of technology in here that makes it the highest antioxidant liquid we've been able to find. I'll show you what we looked at, okay? Also, it's anti-inflammatory. That's why it helps with gout. That's why it helps with inflammation issues. That's why it helps people that have some kind of like edema. It really helps them out. And it's anti-aging. It's got anti-aging properties. It actually has the ability to slow down the aging process. Why? Because the water, as you'll see in number 2, has the ability to get to your cells and clean them. And healthy cells always produce healthy cells. All right? Here's our founder, Mr. Oshiro. Okay? This is our business advisor for the U.S. Whenever we ask new people, how old do you think he is? What? 45, 50, 55, 60, whatever. How about him? 65, 70, 75, okay? As a matter of fact, if you're with him, you will not think he's over. He was just with us the other day. Energy, skin, and when he's with his wife, you won't think he's over 50. Unbelievable energy. And the reason I say this is because both of these guys are the same age. They're both 68. The only difference is he is older than him. He turned 68 back St. Patrick's Day, okay? Now look at this. Now I don't know if this is true. I have no clue. I heard he runs 5 miles a day. I don't think so. But I know this guy probably doesn't even drive 5 miles a day. Just kidding. Look at the difference. And when George asked him, Mr. Oshiro, how come you look like that? How come your energy is so far up? He said 2 things. Number 1, I've been drinking this water for over 2 decades. First, he said, try to keep stress down. He's been drinking this water 3 to 4 liters a day for over 2 decades. The water has a very high oxidation reduction potential. I knew nothing about this. And I see several doctors here that are good friends of mine. There's doctors all over the room, all right? And they know about this. I never knew anything about this. Here, this is what we checked, though. The worst one we found is soda. For the things you ingest, that's the worst one. It's plus 400 in oxidation. It's one of the fastest things that oxidize. But you know, if you want to get old fast, drink a lot of soda. You'll get there first. You win. All right? If you want to be like one of my cousins who's been drinking soda morning, night, before she sleeps, when she wakes up, all day long. A couple of years ago, they had to, every one of her toes to operate to straighten them out. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's acidic. I have no clue. I'm not a doctor, but again, that's the worst one we found. Sports drinks, some of the tap water we've been led to believe that's supposed to be good for us. We found out. You read the news. Now, if you take a meter and go here, it goes to plus. If you go to vitamin C, it goes to negative 50 approximately in antioxidant. Green tea is right there. Look at that. About negative 80 somewhere. You have all the berries here. And then the highest one we found is called cod liver oil. You know what? If you could drink a pitcher of cod liver oil every day, it's very good for you, okay? You'll probably slip and slide everywhere, but it's good for you, all right? Now, take a look at Kangen water. It goes all the way from negative 300, negative 400. I've seen it as high as negative 700 and 800 in antioxidant. That's the highest one we've found. There's nothing higher than that. What you're drinking right there. And it's great tasting because all it is water. So again, that's the first thing. The second property it has, and I was talking to a nutritionist this last week for some of the major sports teams out there who's talking to me about hydration. And I'm finally starting to really understand this. Microcluster. The water is microcluster. In other words, you're drinking tiny water. And when I first heard that, I said, you know, what are you, nuts? I asked Dr. Lee, there's big water and small water? You know, because he's an MIT PhD and all that, right? And he goes, yeah, of course. You're telling me there's big water and small water. And he said, there's all different sizes waters. As a matter of fact, you've made small water before. And I went, okay. What are you talking about? He goes, have you ever boiled a pan of water? Right? Have you ever boiled a pan of water and left the room and forget about it? And you came back and you were cooking nothing but a pan? Where do you think the water went? As you heat water, by the way, it gets smaller and smaller, then it becomes something called steam, and steam will disappear. Well, the water you're drinking is microcluster water. It has the ability to penetrate you at a cellular level. Let me tell you what happens when you drink the water. It hydrates your brain in approximately 30 to 60 seconds. That's why some people, when you first drink it, you think you have a headache. You get a head rush, okay? You don't have a headache. It hydrates your brain in 30 to 60 seconds. Second, it has the ability to touch every part of your skin in approximately 10 minutes or so. Look what it did for my skin. It's unbelievable. You should see what it's doing to all the skin of my friends' teenage daughters and sons who had really bad acne. Down in San Diego, up in San Francisco, you ought to see their skin after 30 to 60 days. It's because of the water. The water has the ability, here, this is the best way for me to explain it to you, okay? Let's say you were at the baseball field and there was a chain link fence and you threw baseballs at it. It's gonna come back. It can't go through the fence. If you took some BBs, it's gonna go through it. This water that you're drinking has the ability to penetrate you, and it's unbelievable water. And by the way, water, this one, you know, I knew about this, but not like I know about it today, right? You know, take a look at this. That's the most important thing here. See, we're taught that, yeah, we're all water and all this. Let me tell you what I wasn't taught, all right? How you flush this right here, this machine, will determine how it ages and what it gets and how it performs. Well, you know, it's sort of common sense. Have you ever seen two people that own the same exact vehicle, same year? Have you ever seen two vehicles? One owner took care of it, one owner did not. Okay? Have you ever seen two yards or two homes in the same neighborhood? One took taken care of, one not. Okay? I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is it's common sense. All right? If you have a car and you change the oil every 3,000 miles, it will last longer and perform better as it ages. If you have an aquarium